So I just want to take a second and go over just some of the areas of development that we've covered within this chapter, this fleeting world. So we're going to kind of do this as a timeline. I'm going to have things that will go above the timeline and below the timeline. There's really no rhyme or reason for it. It just, helps a little bit with spacing. But, you kind of draw it however it is that you want to draw it. So we're going to start off with, obviously, nice straight-ish line. And we're going to do 2 endpoints. And you want to think to yourself, at the beginning of this chapter, how did all people begin? And you should say foragers. So you want to put at the one end, foragers. And again, I apologize for my handwriting. At the other end, where did we leave off? And where we left off is going to be the modern era. Now, we have to do some filling in, everything in between. So the first step, after foragers, where are most people starting to hit? And this is going to be where people are still hunting and gathering, but they're also farming as well. So you want to put that in. And I'm going to abbreviate hunting and gathering H/G. You can do the same if you like. I'm just simply doing it because of space. And farming. And think, what's the reason why these early farmers are still continuing to hunt and gather? You should have that farming is not overly productive. So you want to add that. Not overly productive. And then the next step. What helps to have people farming all of the time? And it should be some development that is going to come in. So we're going to have the growth of agriculture. And I'm going to abbreviate agriculture AG. And the reason for this is going to be because of storage. Next step, again, we're making farming a little bit better. So because we're making farming a little bit better, we don't need as many people to farm. So we have more non-farmers. We have more non-farmers. We also are getting another development, and this is going to be just as important as storage. In fact, we're going to get 2 developments. So the first one is going to be the creation of irrigation. And then also the other big one that we did mention, we spent a little bit of time in the notes, is going to be secondary products. And the outgrowth, remember, like we were talking about, the outgrowth of these secondary dairy products is going to be another agricultural profession known as pastoralism. So we want to add that in here as well. And again, because we have more food, we have more people. And if we have more people, we have more problems. So more problems creates a brand new need. And this is going to be the need for a hierarchy. Next step, again, because remember, all in through this area, we are dealing with people within villages. So the next step of development after the village, of course, is going to be the creation of cities and states. And then if these guys are really, really great at the state and city level, then they'll develop into the next step, which hopefully you know is imperial states. And then the imperial states, they start to connect with one another. And then the development right before the modern era is going to be global networks. And then the global networks, of course, are going to get us to the modern era. Now, the other thing that's important to mention, and I'm kind of running a little bit out of room here, but one of the things that you have to understand, you might want to put this underneath this timeline. I kind of ran out of space, so I'm going to put it up above. But as this entire timeline is going on, we have agriculture and agrarian civilization spreading. So we have agriculture and agrarian civilization spreading. And that's just going the whole length of the timeline. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. We can cover them in a little bit different way if we need to. We can go over this again in person. Just, let me know what you need.